Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. Welcome to Azure Data Engineering course. And my name is Bhaskar Jogi. I'm having almost 24 years of experience in the IT industry. I worked with many companies like Petney Computers, Accenture, Microsoft, Unilever, Daimler Chrysler. I was, in Bangalore for 10 years and last for, 14, 15 years I'm in Hyderabad, so I love teaching. I'm passionate about teaching, even though earlier I was working as a full-time employee in Accenture, Microsoft, and Unilever, Daimler Chrysler. So because of my passion, I came out and I started my Go Online trainings in the year 2010 itself, and we conducted a lot of classroom classes on corporate trainings earlier. But currently, we don't have any classroom classes. We don't have any corporate trainings. Completely, I'm into online training. That is about myself, guys. And I'm completely towards the data side. If you need anything about data, you can directly come to goonlinetrainings.com so that you will be able to understand any technologies related to data, whether it is a database technology or big data technology, or it is a Azure technology. Any data related technologies means you will be able to understand from scratch. Clear? So that is about me, guys. And data engineering is part of your cloud, Azure Data Engineering. We'll be able to talk about what is a cloud and what is a data engineering and what is a ADF and what is ADB. So in the data engineering, we have two modules. One module is that Azure Data Factory. So this is the first module, Azure Data Factory 30 hours, which is a completely ELT or ETL tool. It is also called as a data orchestration or a data pipelines tools. Azure Data Storage, Azure Data Lake, Blob, SQL. All these things we're going to be understanding for 30 hours. The prerequisite for this course is you have to know SQL. Clear? So no coding is required, no programming is required. Any non-IT people can easily understand it. Azure Data Factory. This is one module in your data engineering. Clear? Azure Data Engineering. So this is 1 month course. And only ADF is not sufficient if you have more and more experience. Many companies also asking Azure Data Bricks. That is the second one. If you wanted to learn Azure Data Bricks, you have to learn Python as one more programming language. Python is very, very bigger concept, right? So Python can be used for the data science. Python can be used for the web development. So we don't need all those topics to be learned. Python basics, at least 20 days, 30 days Python from the YouTube. When you learn, you will be able to write Python programming. Even SQL is also needed for the Azure Data Bricks. Clear? So this is 25 hours module. This is a 30 hours module. So here you don't have any programming, no coding or low coding, right? No coding or the low coding. Only thing is that you need to know basics understanding of SQL, right? If you don't know SQL, you can buy our videos from go online trainings. You can watch those SQL videos regularly one, and you will be able to parallelly attend Azure Data Factory as well. And parallelly, you can also learn SQL using SQL videos. I don't have any live SQL batches. I'm not teaching, but if you need live batches, means we have one more trainer name. His name is Arun. He's teaching, SQL basics. You can attend those classes as well. In 30 years, you will be able to understand at least basics understanding of SQL. 30 years, you can get either videos from us, or you will be able to get, a live classes, and SQL Telugu and SQL English videos are available. You can opt for that and you will be able to understand. So Azure Data Factory is a ETL tool. We'll understand what is ETL, ELT in the Azure Data Factory. So that is no coding. But if you need little bit of a programming, so that is where we're going to be using Python. Not very in depth of, Python is not required, basics Python and SQL can be used Azure Data Bricks. Now it is completely big data Hadoop concept. You need to understand why Azure Data Bricks is needed, and what is a big data Hadoop, what is Spark and Scala, what is PySpark, Spark with SQL data, Lakehouse architecture, and some kind of a DevOps, or CI/CD, continuous integration and a continuous deployment. This kind of an architecture we're going to be learning. So put together. So Azure Data Factory itself will give you a lot of opportunities. And if you wanted to learn Azure Data Bricks also, you can learn. Put together, it will be almost 60 hours of syllabus. And any tool you can learn anytime. So you can learn this first, you can learn this later. Both of them are independent, or you can learn data factory first and you can learn this later. So anything you can learn first, anything you can learn later. There is no dependency at all. Clear? So data bricks is not a Microsoft concept. Data bricks is by third party guy, Mr. Ali. So in 2013, he founded this software, and the Databricks can be implemented in Azure. Databricks can be implemented in AWS, or it can be implemented in any cloud. So Azure Databricks is not a Microsoft tool at all. Databricks is by one more software company, and the founder is Mr. Ali. Clear? We'll talk about later. Azure Databricks is completely to handle the large amount of data. Clear? So when you have a data, it may be small data, it may be bigger data, but you have a data, right? So when you have a data, we are going to be using the data. The purpose of the data is either you can use the data for the data analytics, that is business intelligence, or you can use the data for the AI, artificial intelligence and ML, right? So end of the day, you can have the data anywhere. So if you wanted to work with Azure Data Factory or Azure Data Bricks, you have to know about data, right? Without data, you will not be able to understand anything. So as we discussed, so now what is the need for, what is the data factory, we'll discuss, as well as what is a data bricks also we'll discuss, and will continue further. Clear? So now if you learn data bricks for next 25 hours, then you can shift to Azure Data Factory later. Or you can also learn Azure Data Factory now by taking our videos. And parallelly, you can also attend Azure Data Bricks live classes. So daily 1 hour live class, because I don't have live class for the Azure Data Factory now. You can take the videos and practice it. Whatever you need to do it, you can do it. So everything is ready. But what is that you need to know? SQL and Python you need to know if you wanted to deal with, or if you wanted to start with your, especially Azure Data Bricks. Clear? If you don't know Python, I don't think very complex. Sorry, a complete Python is needed. At least the basics understanding of Python, basic understanding of SQL is needed. You can buy the videos, SQL Python videos from us, and you will be able to enroll. Clear? So that is what is the point. If you have any other doubts, anytime you will be able to call me. You can be able to reach me on this number. Let me give my direct number. If you have any time, any career guidance means, directly you can call me on this number. So this is my direct office number, guys. So anybody can call me for the career guidance. Clear? So 9452, guys, make a note of this number. It is my office number. So if you need any kind of a support or any kind of a help, or whatever you cannot ask in the class, those can be asked directly to me, or you can WhatsApp your issues or your concern, career goals, or if you want to migrate from one business domain to one more business domain, or if you have a 10 years of gap in the non-IT field, you're an insurance agent, or you're a housewife, or you don't have any clue about what needs to be learned in IT industry, and how do you get the job. in IT industry, what are the technologies you wanted to learn means you can, call me, you can, ask any questions anytime. This is my direct number. So you can also call our office numbers. So anytime you can just welcome to these numbers. And if they don't respond properly, directly you can just call me and you will be able to ask me, guys. Chal. So let us talk about some basic fundamentals about Azure Data Factory. Then we'll understand what is Azure Data Bricks. Then when to use what is very, very important, right? Both of them are some tools. Clear? All these tools are going to be working towards data or working with data. Right? Where exactly we can use Azure Data Factory, where exactly we can use Azure Data Bricks. Let us understand one by one. Am I clear? So that is what is the agenda for today's class. You can learn any tool anytime. So within 2 months, you will be able to complete our classes only from Monday to Friday. We don't have any classes on Saturday and Sunday. And daily 1 hour class will be there. You must have a laptop. Without laptop, you will not be able to complete data engineering course or any IT course. You need not install any software because these are the cloud softwares. Cloud means, as I told you, which are rental platforms. Clear? So I'll be able to talk about the cloud as well. Now, let us start with the introduction to Azure Data Bricks. So we will be able to understand what is a data bricks. Before that, we should also understand what is ADF, Azure Data Factory. And the prerequisite is that you need to know SQL knowledge, SQL knowledge, basic Python language is required. You can parallelly learn, right? If you wanted to learn data bricks, these are required, and the cloud fundamentals is also needed. It is not mandatory, but if you know what is a cloud and everything, it will be very, very good. Clear? So you have to know about data because without data, nothing is there, right? So if you have a data, there are two things which are going to be working. One is called your AI is going to work, artificial intelligence is going to work. Other side, you have a BI is going to be working, business intelligence. It is also called as a data analytics. Clear? If you have the data, two applications are going to be using your data. Earlier, 20 years back, only people were talking about business intelligence and the data analytics, and AI is evolved 2012 onwards. Okay, 2012 onwards, AI is evolved, and this is evolved in since 1990s onwards. This is evolved business intelligence or the data analytics. If you have the data, clear. So business intelligence means, as we know, understanding the past is called business intelligence or the data analytics. AI means what? Predicting the future, predictions, future predictions. Clear? I wanted to know what was my sales the last 10 years in India. That was data analytics question. But what would be my sales in India next 10 years? So Amazon company wanted to understand that is artificial intelligence or it is called as a machine learning question. Clear? Your generative AI, we're talking about chat GPT, we're talking about lot of AI tools nowadays we have, right? So all the tools are consuming large amount of data and they're able to act. Your chat GPT application is getting large amount of data. They're able to store the data, implement the data. Then you can run two applications today. One is called BI application, one application is called AI application. So we are, as a engineer, what you do, you will be able to collect the data, you will be able to clean the data, you will be able to store the data. Then after storing the data, AI engineer is going to be or data science engineer, a data scientist or AI engineer is going to be getting the data and working on the further machine learning algorithms. BI guys are going to be creating a lot of visualizations and a lot of graphs, and they will be able to convert your data into information. Information can be used as a knowledge or a wisdom so that you will be able to gain useful insight about the data. Clear? So AI and BA, it is both of them are called as simply, it is a data analytics. Some people are calling this as a advanced analytics. So AI is also called as a advanced analytics. A lot of them you will not be able to understand only with the help of a BA. Clear? Either is a BA or a AI, it is simply studying of data. Remember, studying of data. So, what is AI? What is a BA? If somebody asks you, you have to tell them that it is simply studying of data. So now what is that they're going to be studying? That you need to learn in the data analytics, or you will be able to learn them in the different things. So either AI or a business intelligence means simply study of the data. Simply. Okay, study of the data. So AI can predict the data. BI, it is also called as the data analytics, can understand the future. So many people will be calling this as a data analytics, and this is itself is called as a advanced analytics. Clear? So people will be using like this, but you should not be worried about it. Clear? So let us understand what is a cloud first. Then let us understand what is ADF versus ADB, and we will also understand what is ETL and what is ELT. And after that, if the time permits today, we will be able to understand what is a big data, what is Hadoop, because ADB, Azure Data Bricks, only for the large amount of data. So what is a Hadoop, what is a Spark and a Scala, right? And afterwards, we will be able to understand what is a data bricks. Clear? So all these things we will be able to understand one by one. So if you wanted to become a data engineer, especially, so you have to know cloud fundamentals. Azure, if you wanted to learn why Azure, you need to know. The second step, why ADF is there, why Databricks is there, and all of them you need to know clearly. Okay, let us start with what is a cloud. So simple example is that I wanted to buy my own car, right? I wanted to buy a own car. I need to have a large cash, and every time I need to clean the car, I have to maintain the insurance policy. If I don't know the driver salary also, I need to give, right? So this is what is called my own car. Own car means I'm talking about on premises car, right? I wanted to maintain a own car. I can say on premises car. Or other side, companies, people are talking about a cloud. Cloud means instead of maintaining your own car, on-premises car, you can go to Ola or Uber. You will be able to rent a car, book a cab. So what is the advantage? If you wanted to buy a car, you need to have a large 10, 20 lakhs of cash and fuel. You need to maintain driver salary. You need to maintain cleaning up the car. You need to have it. Everything you have to have it on premises means your own cars or own anything. Clear? But a cloud means simply which is a web or which is online or internet oriented, online or web based. Clear? So here what you do, instead of maintaining your own car, you go to Ola or Uber. You will be able to install this application. You can get a rental car. That is what you got to understand. So Ola, we can book any kind of a car. This is a rental car or the cab. So what is the advantage here? Pay as you use. That is the advantage of this car. So here you need to have a large cash. You have to clean the car, right? Every time you have to fuel the car, you have to buy the insurance, right? If there is an accident, that you need to go to the court and everything. But when you book a Ola car, if there is an accident, if you're safe means simply come down to the, come out of the car and just go away. So the Ola company will be taking care of the car, insurance, and they will be fueling the car. They will be paying the, driver salary. You're not going to be doing anything. So that is what is called a cloud today. Clear? So year, 2003, the cloud technology means companies like Amazon company started. Clear? They told, hey, you don't buy any hardware, you don't buy any software. We will give you everything for rental. But earlier story was, for example, a company, a non-IT company like State Bank of India or Walmart company, Flipkart company, any company, if they wanted to store their data, okay, Store the data means first they need to buy a large or very, very big hardware. They need to buy it. Hardware they need to buy, and they need to buy softwares because softwares are very, very important. Then you need to install them. Only installation is not an important 24 by 7. They have to be on. That means the power supply has to be there. So lot of things they need to, taking care. They need to hire a computer, hire a hardware engineer. They need to have the premises, buy the hardwares and everything, and installing 24 by 7 power supply and lot of things. The companies like State Bank of India or LIC, any company, LIC or ICICI Bank or any HDFC company, if they wanted to maintain the data, that is the own servers they were maintaining. This was a story earlier. It is a big, problem for the companies. But today, Amazon told in year 2003 itself, Amazon told, instead of you maintain your own servers, you take our server rental servers. They have created a brand called Amazon Web Services in year 2003. They said, you take rental hardware and software machines. Clear? So you need not maintain, we will maintain rental hardware and rental softwares. We are going to be giving, keep your data and pay the rental to us. Everything we will be maintaining. You need not worry about it. So how do you connect? Simply you will be able to connect via URL. It is a web, right? So how do you connect to YouTube? Via URL. So YouTube is not going to be maintained by you, right? Otherwise, you will not be able to, keep the videos online because it will be big headache for you. So that YouTube is going to be taking, it will be free, right? Like that, Netflix is not free. You need to pay the rental amount. Somebody will be maintaining. You only store the videos and you will be enjoying it, right? So like that, Amazon company told you need not worry about the hardware, software, 24 by 7 power supply. If you need 100 servers, we'll give you. If you don't need 100 servers, you need only 50 servers, no problem. So any machines you need, we can give you. But if you're maintaining own machines, means you buy 100 servers. Tomorrow you don't need 100 servers. You don't know what to do with the remaining 50 or 60 servers. Clear? You cannot sell them. You cannot keep them. Even though you sell them, you can get a lot of less price and it will be no use. Clear? But if you need 100 servers, I can give you for rental. You need 1,000 machines, I can give you for rental. Tomorrow you don't need 1,000 machines, you need only 100 machines. You can simply say, sir, I don't need these machines. We will be giving you only 100 machines bill, not for the 1,000 machines bill. So pay as you go. That is what is called the beauty about this. Lot of companies are stopped maintaining the own hardware and software. They have slowly migrated. Okay, so own on-premises servers, or people will say on-prem. On-prem means own servers. So they stopped maintaining. So they are getting the servers rental from the Amazon, the company called AWS. Now Microsoft is also started. So in 2010, the brand is called Azure. Clear? So when you go to Azure also, Microsoft says, hey, we will give you rental hardware and software. You can also get what kind of a software you need. Oracle you need, Java you need, tell me SAP you need, what you need. We will be able to give you. You pay the rental based on the use. That is advantage. When you buy a car, it will be costing you 10, 15 lakhs, right? But when you use the car as a service, how much you need to pay for the car? 300 rupees, 400 rupees. So you wanted to go for the airport, so pay some 1,000 rupees, or you wanted to use for 5-10 kilometers, pay some 100 rupees. So pay as you go. You need not worry about the huge cash and the driver's salary, nothing. That is the advantage of the Amazon or Microsoft Azure, or Google is also have a Google Cloud. It is started, I think, year 29. Clear? Before Azure it is started, it is called as a GCP, Google Cloud Platform. It is also rental hardware software company. Clear? You don't maintain own servers, you will be able to go for the rental softwares and hardware. Simply, you store your data, you will be able to manage your data. All the softwares, hardwares, everything will be given by the companies only. Clear? So that is what you need to understand. But how do you get the Azure? So you need to go and create one account. How do you use youtube.com? You have to go to YouTube and create a account, right? So after that, you keep on uploading your videos. Videos are nothing but your data, right? Like that, if you wanted to use AWS or Azure or GCP, you have to go and create one account. How do you do that? You have to go to portal.azure.com. It is a online. It is a web-based, cloud-based portal.azure.com. You need to go and create one account. Clear? You need not install any software. So when somebody says a cloud means you need not install any software. But when somebody says on premises means you have to install software. For example, SQL Server I will be installing. It is on premises. Java I may be installing. It is on premises. If you install something, MS Office I am installing in my computer. That is what is called on premises. Clear? But when you go to Google, you would like to use Excel sheet. What normally we do? We'll say Google spreadsheet. SP spreadsheet. When I say you are not installing, you are going to be getting Excel online. Clear? You will be able to go get the create one, what do you say, user ID. You will be able to get the Excel online. So this is what is called Cloud Excel. Excel means you have installed. Cloud Excel means you need to get it from the online. Clear? Java means on premises. Azure Java. What do you mean by Azure Java? Azure is a cloud machine. So in the Azure, somebody is installed Java, that you have to go to this portal, try to use the Java. You need not install the Java. You need not have the computer where bigger servers I'm going to be talking about. You need to have the laptop to connect. Clear? But youtube.com is a bigger server, right? So youtube.com is a bigger server. What you do, you will be able to shoot a video either using a mobile phone or using a laptop. You will be able to connect to youtube.com and upload the video. So before that, what you do, you will be able to create a one account, and you will be able to create a channel and keep the things there. Clear? So Azure Java means what? Azure is a rental server where you have Java is installed by somebody else. You simply using it. You need not install in your laptop. Clear? You simply go and try to connect. Or if somebody says Azure SQL, what is the meaning? Some in Azure machine, somebody is installed either Oracle or SQL Server or DB2, Teradata, some SQL softwares they have installed. They are giving you for hire. So simply connect to this, URL. You will be able to go and try to get the things done. Am I clear? So Azure means a rental platform. Like that, you can go to GCP SQL, AWS SQL, AWS Java, AWS .NET. So everything can be cloud or on premises. Did you understand clearly? So that is what you got to understand. If somebody tells you Azure is a hardware, software, rental software, hardware company, it will be able to give you 200 applications, not only one application. You ask Java, Azure is there. You ask SQL, it is there in Azure. You ask SAP, you ask AI, you ask reporting tool, you ask Power BI, you ask data warehousing, everything is there. You will be able to go and get it on Azure. That means what? Rental platform, right? You will get everything for rental, right? For example, I need a fridge. You can buy or you can get a rental fridge. I need a house. You can get a house, but you can buy a house. You can get a rental house. Or I need a car. I can buy a car. I can get a rental house. So everything is rental. Data warehousing, on your own data warehousing you can create. You can also get rental data warehousing. That is Azure data warehouse or AWS data warehouse, like that. So you can get a Power BI. That means you need to install, or you can say Azure Power BI. That means Azure company is going to be installing and giving it to you. You have to pay the rental amount. Everything on premises, on rental. You ask something Java, Azure Java, or AWS Java, or Cloud Java, SAP, anything you ask, that will be rental platforms, or that will be on premises. On premises means you have to install the software. Remember. So on premises means you need to install the software. Cloud means no need of installation. No installation is required. So what you need to do, you have to create one account in Amazon AWS or maybe in Azure to start using that. That's it. Clear? That is what is called a cloud. So in the cloud means hardware, rental machines and everything. But now we are talking about large amount of data companies have, right? We are talking about data. Without data, nothing is going to be working, right? So we are talking about IT industry is going to be dealing with the data, because data, using data, you will be able to get the information, right? So how do you store the data? For the storing the data, we have different tools are available. So without data, IT industry is not going to be working. That is what you need to know clearly, right? Information, if you wanted to get it, you have to have the data. So IT industry is going to be storing your data, and it is going to be retrieving your data. Okay, so that is what IT industry is going to be doing. So if I wanted to deal with the IT industry means, IT industry is doing two things. So what is that? IT industry is going to store your data. So that is one functionality of the IT industry. So it is going to be taking the data, and it is going to be the second one is called, which is computing your data. Computer means the data which can compute, right? Computer. So IT industry is going to be storing your data. That is step number one. Step number two, whatever be the data that is there in the IT industry, that it is going to be computing. Clear? It is going to be computing. Storing means, for example, I have number 20 is there, number 20 is there. This is what I can store, right? Depends upon the size, we will be able to store the data. So I have stored the data somewhere. But after storing the data, what normally we do? We do computing. Computing means we are going to be processing the data. Clear? For the processing purpose, we are going to be using a language. We are going to be using a language. For the storing the data purpose, we are going to be using different SQL, or it is also called as a database management systems, or it is also called as a relational database management systems. Clear? If you wanted to store the data in a IT industry means, you have to know what is called as SQL, structured query language, or a database management system, or relational database management system. So I have stored some data somewhere in SQL. Let us understand like that. But after storing the data, I wanted to know, I have to compute the data. Compute means processing. That means I wanted to know sum. What is the total? 10 plus 20 is a 30. This is what is called as the computing. Processing. I wanted to know what is the average, what is the minimum, what is the maximum. Average is 15 because two numbers I have. So minimum is a 10, maximum is 20. I wanted to sort the data. Lot of operations are called as computing operations. These are done by the language called C, C++, Java, .NET. When you learn any language, Java, Python, any language, the language is going to be going to the SQL, getting the data, and which is going to be processing the data. Languages are very complex. We don't deal with the languages now. Clear? So now I'm going to be only talking about RDBMS or SQL. So if you wanted to store large amount of data, companies are going to be using what is called as SQL or RDBMS. So if you wanted to process the data, process means I wanted to know what is the total, what is the minimum, what is the maximum. So I'm talking about two numbers here. When you have a billions of data, trillions of data, so you will not be able to perform very easily. That is when the computer power you can see with the help of a language. So when you learn a language, a lot of opportunities are available in the IT industry. But only thing is that much of coding. So if you don't need coding, no programming, low programming means you will be able to come towards a data. Data means the basic understanding you need to know SQL or RDBMS, or it is also called as a database management system. Clear? So now we need to understand what kind of a data you have it. So you have to store the data if you wanted to convert into information, right? So now the question is that what is the data we are talking about? Data may be small in size. Clear? Small means I'm talking about megabytes of data. So this kind of a data, you will be able to store them in Excel, or you will be able to store them in a notepad. So every month, 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows, I will be able to get that kind of a data. I will be able to store them in Excel, or I will be able to process the data. So if I have every month, I'm getting GBs of data. It is medium size of data. I'm able to get it. I'm talking about GBs of data. The size is medium size. Every month, let us say 500 GB of data Amazon is getting, Google, Go Online Trainings is getting. My company every month get only 1,000 inquiries or 2,000 inquiries. I will be able to store the data here. I will be able to process the data in Excel. But when you have a GBs of data every month, think about Amazon.com, any banking industry. So these people are going to be using what is called as SQL, or it is also called as a database management system. Clear? I have a lot of blood. Where do you store? Blood bank. I have a lot of gold bank. I have a lot of data to store. That is what is called a database. It's a data bank. If I wanted to store large amount of data banks I need to store. So this was a story, right? So now after that, people said every month I'm getting 500 GB of data. So 500 GB of every month into 12 months of data. It is becoming 6,000 GBs of data. If you convert into GBs, if you convert into terabytes, it will become 6 terabytes of data per year. But I wanted to store 10 years of data, it will become 60 terabytes of data. When you have so much of a data, normal SQL will fail, normal SQL or a database will fail. That is when, so there is a new concept called data warehousing is started in 1990s. Clear? SQL is started in 1970s. Clear? So computers have started in 1920, 1940, 1960, that time. So we were using Excel or a notepad. We were able to store the data. But when the data is more and more, people who are facing a lot of difficulties to store the data in the Excel, then IT companies, so especially a company called IBM company started, doing the research, and the IBM company found or invented a software or a technology called SQL in 1970 earlier. So they do not have much more data. So after 10 years, 60s onwards, 70s, when it is there, they said when you have a GBs of data, Excel notepad cannot do all the work. We need to have a separate tools. IBM company invented a SQL software or SQL technology. Using the technology, a lot of companies have established. The popular company is called Oracle. Oracle is a SQL software or Microsoft SQL Server, right? It is Microsoft company which can store the data. It is called as SQL, software or SQL technology. Large amount of data you can store. But in 1990s, when the data is increasing and increasing, when you got so much of a data, normal SQL applications are failing. So normal database management systems are failing. So again, people have to invent, IT people have to invent in 1990 data warehousing software. Clear? So what is a data warehouse? Warehouse means go down. In layman understanding, warehouse means go down. Guys, you need to understand it clearly because a data bricks is going to start from now, right? So SQL, data warehousing, I will tell you afterwards only. We are going to be talking about big data, Hadoop and everything. So if you understand clearly what is a data warehouse, so understanding a data bricks will be very, very easy for you. Clear? Now I wanted to get the data, large amount of data. I'm going to be talking about not the small amount of data. Sorry, I need to go here, not here. I need to go get terabytes of data, means a large amount of data, terabytes of data. I wanted to use it here. So I have to maintain a data warehouse. Warehouse means a go down. But how data warehouse is going to be prepared or created? Very simple. They said you buy large hardware. Large hardware means, so my laptop configuration may be 1 terabyte of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM, and i5 processor. This is my laptop configuration. In this, I may install Oracle or I may install SQL Server. These are called RDBMS softwares, right? So if I install, maximum how much data I can insert? Only 1 terabyte, because that is the hard disk size I have. So if I install Oracle in my computer, in my laptop, which is on premises because I'm installing. So what is the maximum data I can store? 1 terabyte. But if I buy 1000 terabyte of hard disk, very bigger computer, if I am buying, and 500 GB of RAM, not only small, very bigger RAM, clear. And I have not only one processor, 1000 processors I'm going to be buying in this machine. In this machine, what I'm trying to install, same Oracle I'm going to be installing. So software wise, there is no change. Large hardware I need to buy. Same SQL software. SQL means you need to understand Oracle or SQL Server or a DB2. Lot of softwares are available. Any one of them, when you install it, what is the maximum data you can store? 100 terabytes. Why? Because the hardware is bigger. So if you wanted to understand a data warehouse in layman terminology, data warehouse is a bigger hardware, but software wise, the same software. What software you need to install? SQL softwares you need to install, so that it is called as a Oracle data warehousing server. So people were happy. They're able to manage, they're able to store the data, but this story does not end here, right? So 1990s people, IT industry is saying, we are very good, we are very happy, we have so much of a data, we are able to store and do lot of data analytics and everything. Now, year 2000, slowly the entire globe is changed. Social media slowly getting increased. Internet based applications are going to evolve, and hardware is becoming so cheaper. Everybody is buying a lot of laptops and more automation worldwide. So slowly, large amount of data, it is becoming double XL, triple XL data. So large data, small data, medium data, MBs of data, gigabyte of data, terabytes of data. Now people are talking about petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, yottabyte of data before year 2000. So you have to understand till year 2000, 1990s it is there. It is a completely structured data, because that time people are not storing videos, audios, everything in a computer. That kind of a technologies were not there to store the data. But slowly, so people started a lot of applications storing the data. So Excel, double Excel data, triple Excel data. After that, to year 2000, it has got evolved. So how to store this kind of a data? Year 2003. So a company called Google came up with, if I have a big data, normal data warehousing will fail. Clear? Normal data warehouse can store about only terabytes of data. If I have 100 terabytes, I can store only structured data. That means structured means a data which is there in the table format. Table means rows and columns. I have an employee table, sales table, I have a customer table. Data is going to be stored in the table. But today, data means not only table data, audio data, video data, social media charts data, tweets data, weather forecasting data, Uber cab, data for map data. Lot of data is getting evolved. That kind of a data to store, you don't have any answer until 1990s. Year 2003, Google company talking about this kind of a data, they have given a special name. They have given a special name called, it is a large amount of data and unlimited data. It is not only structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Do you have something stored in the IT industry? IBM asking Google, Google is asking IBM, Microsoft is asking everybody, hey, do you have anything to store? Then they said, let us understand, let us invent a new software or new technology. So unlimited data, large amount of data started coming in because two things. One is called internet is enabled and hardware is becoming so cheaper. Because of these two things, social media is evolved and large amount of data coming in. So Google company given a specific name to large amount of data. They said big data. Big data means it is a petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, yottabyte of data. It is need not be structured data. It is also semi-structured data. For example, your newspaper data can you store in a rows and column? No, you don't have different, you will get different articles, different images. Newspaper data is completely a semi-structured or unstructured data. Or your tweets, your videos, audios, x-rays in the hospital, image files, scan documents, all the data is more and more. That kind of a data, if you wanted to store, nothing was there. Year 2003, Google company released a software, released a scientific paper on the big data. In year 2006 and 7, there is a software called Hadoop is released. Clear. So I don't want to maintain many things, whether it is a structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. I will be able to get a single solution. I should be able to store, but it is not a small amount of data. Remember. So there are a software called Hadoop software by one company called Apache Software Foundation got released. So that is a story you got to understand clearly. Clear? So Excel is gone. Excel is going to be dealing with megabytes of data. Then SQL is there. So it is also can deal with gigabytes of data. So then we have a data warehousing is created. It can handle terabytes of data. But all these things are going to be talking about only structured data. This was a story from 1960s when the language C language invented in 1960, 19 year early 2000. So this was a story. Companies IT industry is only talking about Excel, SQL or database or data warehousing. So after that, slowly structured data it is there, then semi-structured data, then unstructured data coming in, and the size is also too big. Size is also too big. So this is one issue. So when it is started, so it is 2000 onwards, this problem is started. Okay, this is one issue. Second issue, petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, very big amount of data, and yottabyte of data, and the data also coming very in speedy. So very quickly the data is getting generated. It is not taking much time, right? For example, if you wanted to accumulate 1 crore, so earlier it will take a lot of time. Salaries were very little. But today getting 1 crore is very bigger because everybody is getting 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs salary. Speed in which you can accumulate 1 crore is very easy. Clear? So three problems are coming. That is what is called, you have to understand the three V's. What is three V's? One is called variety of data. This is variety of data. Variety means different, data is coming. So variety of data. The second one is called volume of data. Volume means not small volumes, bigger volumes of data coming. And it is velocity means speed. It is velocity of the data, speed of the data it is going to be bringing. So in year 2000, this problem is evolved. So we need to, identify something to this. A Google company in 2003, they have given a good name to this. The name is called big data. Big data means you need to understand the three V's in that. How many V's are there? Three V's. That means it is not only structured data, it is semi-structured data, it is unstructured data. It is not only this, it is a petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, yottabyte of data, and the speed in which data is coming, not slowly. So every month I was getting earlier, every month I'm getting 500 GB, 500 GB. 1 year, it will become, let us say, 6 terabytes of data. But today, every day I'm getting 100 petabyte of data. Every month I'm getting 1,000 zettabyte of data because of internet, because of social media, and more data is this data. Remember, more data is started semi-structured data, structured data. So Google company has created a paper in 2003. So there's a company called Apache Software Foundation. It is not a company, it is a free software company. Charity people, these guys are. They have released a software based on the Google paper. The software is called Hadoop. They sold, hey, you need not maintain SQL, you need not maintain Excel, you need not maintain all these things. We will give you only one software. So this software can store any kind of a data where you will be able to compute the data. So you need not have again special languages. Compute means I'm talking about the processing. Clear? So they have given you one solution. One solution. So any kind of a data you can store. So otherwise, what we need to do for the storing, structured data, we need to go here. For unstructured data, we need to go elsewhere. They said whether it is a structured data, unstructured data doesn't matter. Our small data, bigger data doesn't matter. But especially when you have a large amount of data, big variety of data, velocity means very quickly large amount of data, you are getting just like a tufan. That kind of a data, if you want to store, in 2007, Apache Software Foundation in year 2007 released this software called Hadoop. Clear? So Databricks, if you wanted to understand this history, you need to understand. Clear? So this guy is able to guy, and everybody is talking about, I wanted to deal with the big data. Big data means large amount of data, petabyte, zettabyte, not only one type of the data. So install the Hadoop, you will be able to store the data. So here, the Apache software company prepared or created this software or invented this software. So what they have done in this, they have used Java, and they were using computers, and within the computer, what all you have, hard disk, processor, RAM. So in the hard disk, we were able to store the data. Clear? And because of that, even though it is there, it is becoming bit slow. Clear? And people have to write lot of coding because Java coding is there. Lot of coding, and people should know Java. So these are the issues. Now I'm able to store data. You can be able to store the data where in Excel. I'm able to store the data in SQL. Fine. I'm able to store the data in data warehousing. Fine. Now I'm able to store the data in the big data Hadoop. Right? So if I have the data here, now tomorrow, what will I do with the data? You are going to be doing two things, right? So what are they going to be doing? Either AI or BI. That's what you're going to be doing, right? Either artificial intelligence or business intelligence work you're going to be doing. But the problem is, if I wanted to work with Excel, I need not understand anything. SQL and data warehousing, both of them are, if I know SQL, that I will be able to do something, get the data, then learn some Python and everything, I will be able to do Power BI and everything, I can do it. But when you go to big data, it is using Java, right? It is using Java. Many SQL people told, hey, big data is very, very good, but now you're asking me to learn Java. That is what is the difficulty part. So many SQL people told, we were able to do a lot of things here, but if I wanted to store if I wanted to retrieve the data, you're asking me to get the data, write the code in Java. I don't know Java. Then they have implemented a lot of other small programming languages. Clear? They said, okay, you need not worry about Java. If you don't know Java, I will give you some more things. Then what they have told, If you don't know Java, I'll give you one more language called Hive. Okay, and Hive. There is a language called Pig. Lot of things they have invented, and you need to learn all the language. They are easy, better than learning Java. If you learn Hive or Pig, it is easy. So you need to learn something new and work with that. So, and this is going to store the data in the disk. Disk means it is very, very slow. Clear? So, and it is problem with Java. If you don't want to learn Java, you need to learn Hive and Pig and everything. This was the history when they released in year 2007. Clear? So everybody is saying, okay, we can get the data later. End of the day, if you have the data, you are going to be using either BI guys are going to be using or AI guys are going to be using. But these people know we know only SQL. You are asking me to learn all new things. Now today it will be difficult for us. Then they said, okay, don't learn Java, then you learn Hive. So Hive and Pig and everything was fine. So at least they were able to manage. But the problem is the data is stored in the hard disk of the computer, bigger servers. So because of the disk it is low, then many people started complaining. So in early 2012 or 2011, so big data, what is the software we were using? Hadoop. Hadoop software we were using. So the company is told, no, 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 no. We need to invent one more software, not the Hadoop. Then in year 2011 and 12, I think there is a new software called Spark and Scala got released into the market. Clear? So what is the problem here? Java. They said you need not worry about Java. We will give you a very simple language. Okay, Spark and Scala, new language they have introduced. So this language is gone. So Hadoop is gone because it does have a lot of issues. Now it is storing a lot of data in the hard disk. Then it said don't go for the big data Hadoop architecture. Big data today with the Spark. So today you can store large amount of data in the RAM. Clear? No Java, no Hive, no Pig, nothing is there. So I can use Spark with the Scala. All the data Hadoop is storing in a disk. Now I don't want to use the disk. I would like to store them in the RAM. So Spark is giving you this one. So then told it is very very slow because data is there in the disk. Now it is very faster, 30 times faster than your Hadoop. Why? Because everything Spark is going to store in your RAM. Clear? Because of that, Spark becomes so popular year 2011. Okay, Spark can take large amount of data, one bigger solution, and you need not learn Java language. And one more problem with the Java, Java cannot be used for the AI and BA purpose. Very Java is a web development program. You can create websites. You can create a lot of web applications. Java is not for your data analytics visualizations purpose. The purpose is something different, but you don't have anything. You are using Java that time. So Java is also not good for the data analytics or the AI integration purpose, but Scala is equipped with a lot of business intelligence analytics we can do, and lot of AI also work we can do because large amount of data when you have it. So end of the day, you will be able to do only this kind of a circus. So Hadoop is also gone. Spark is introduced. What is a Spark now? Spark is a new software released 2011 and 2012, and as a big data, if you wanted to store single solution for the companies to use it. Remember, it is very powerful. Does not mean that small data I will also use in Spark. No, small data, if you keep, it will be of no use. When you have a large amount of data, then Spark is good. Spark and Scala is good. So in 2013, there is a one more guy called Ali, Mr. Dr. Ali. So a lot of issues were there, and he has taken that a Spark, and to this he has added some more features. He has implemented a data bricks. Clear? He implemented a data bricks in 2013. It is a more UAE based, and Spark is some kind of a raw. So raw kind of a thing, you need to do a lot of configurations. You need to create a clusters and everything. So instead of maintaining, they have given more user-friendly software, that is a data bricks. Who has given? Ali. He founded data bricks in 2013. Data bricks is the big data software. You will be able to store large amount of data here. It may be structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. You will be able to use Scala language, Spark language, SQL language, or you can also use a Python language, Python, and it is going to be stored in the RAM very, very faster. So more finest version of a Spark is called as a Databricks. Clear? So Databricks is not from the Azure company. Databricks is from the third party. Now, this you can implement in any cloud. Clear? So Databricks now you can go and try to implement in Azure. It will become a Azure Big Data Solution. What is Azure Big Data Solution? Either you can take Azure Hadoop or Azure Spark, or I can say Azure Data Bricks. That is the finest version of the Spark. If somebody tells what is the Data Bricks, Data Bricks is nothing but your implementation of the Spark on the Scala. What is Spark and Scala? It is going to be storing your large amount of data, petabyte of data, more faster when you compare with the Hadoop. Hadoop has Java. Hadoop is going to be storing the data in that hard disk, and Hadoop is going to be using different languages, very complicated data analytics and artificial intelligence. If you wanted to run some kind of a programming like that, it will be difficult to write those kind of languages. Now, because of the issues, Spark is evolved, and after the Spark is having some kind of an issues. What are the issues? We'll talk about later. And on top of the Spark, Databricks is created. So Databricks is a software, independent software. It is not a Microsoft software. Clear? So Microsoft is implementing inside Azure. If you wanted to store large amount of data, today big data Hadoop is not there. Big data Spark is not there. Today we have Azure that you can implement. So Databricks can be implemented not only in Azure, Databricks can be implemented in AWS or in the Google Cloud, or Databricks can be implemented on your on-premises. On-premises means you will need to maintain everything on your own. Clear? So Azure Databricks is there, AWS Databricks is there, Google Cloud, GCP Databricks is there, or your own on-premises Databricks also available. So Databricks is for the to store large amount of data, or it is a one finest solution for the big data Spark architecture. Did you understand clearly? So when you have the data today, either all the when you have the data and the data bricks and everything, either you can do data analytics from here. From here, big data means you can get the data from data bricks, and you will be able to perform AI and BA applications. Clear? So this is a story that you got to understand. Am I clear, guys? అర్థమవుతుందా? Are you able to understand what is the need for the data bricks? I have told you clearly. Guys, any questions here? So tomorrow we'll understand the difference between ADF and ADB. Then we'll try to compare. As of now, what is that one word you can understand about Databricks? Databricks is a third-party software or technology which is implemented for the big data, or the if you wanted to store large amount of data earlier, people were storing in Hadoop and the Spark, but today people can implement a finest software today in this version is called Databricks. Many companies are going to be using a single solution. That is what is called this one. Am I clear, guys? So tomorrow we'll talk about what is ADF, Azure Data Factory, what is ADP, difference between both of them. I will be able to talk to you in tomorrow's class. So who can attend this course? Freshers, recent passed outs, IT developers from different disciplines, on-premises data engineers, database developers, big data developers, BA, ETL developers can attend the Databricks course. Or if you wanted to making a career switch from the functional, that means non-IT to technical rules, because much of coding is not needed. Only if you know SQL, that is, you can learn within a month's time. Any non-IT guy, insurance guy, housewife, if you wanted to get into this, you can learn Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Bricks, Azure Data Factory, no coding, low coding, but Data Bricks will have some kind of a Python coding. That is also very, very little. You need to understand big data Hadoop concepts. So data bricks, before we start, we'll talk about what is a cluster, how to create a data bricks, everything we will be able to talk about it. So, so this is the course content for the next 25 days. Okay. What and why Databricks I have explained today. Cluster. What is a cluster? We'll understand in tomorrow's class. Databricks file system and different file systems. What is a mount point? So that is what we'll understand. Supported language in Databricks is notebooks. Utilities is very, very important concept that will understand file system, notebook, widgets, keyword to store your, lot of, constant string data. That is also we're going to be implementing here. Multiple ways to access the storage, SaaS, service principles, all these are part of ADF only. So we are going to be talking about, data lake and a delta lake. This is a new concept. I'll be able to talk about it. Reading data from the different file formats like data lake, data warehousing, so big data, Hadoop, lot of things are available, right? All of them will be able to understand. Writing data to different file formats like data lake, delta lake, lot of things are available. Lot of functions are available. All of them we cannot discuss, but important Spark functions, Scala Spark functions we're going to be implementing, because Databricks is going to be created on top of your Scala framework. Clear? So Databricks jobs creation and scheduling, Databricks CI/CD, it is not your job. So CI/CD is not compulsory. It is kind of a deployment work. When you create SSS package, you deploy, right? When you create a Power BI reports, you deploy. Deploying purpose, we're going to be using CI/CD. So who's going to be doing infrastructure team or DevOps team is going to be working for the deployments. But you can also do this kind of a small deployments in your company. That purpose we can use CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. We'll talk about it later. It is not a mandatory topic. Real-time project with ADF and ADBricks I'm going to be giving. So total 25 hours. Clear? So we'll continue tomorrow. So hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you are welcome. So if you're understanding Azure Data Bricks, you need to understand big data concept. So big data means, three V's, right? One is, variety, velocity, and volume, right? So that is the point. Structured, unstructured, semi-structured data. Not only this, streaming data, every minute the data is getting changed. Streaming data, batch data. Batch data means OLAP data, data warehousing data, historical data. Clear? So streaming data, batch data, time series data, timestamp data, all these things you can store and you can create with the Azure Databricks. All these things will be implementing and understanding in tomorrow's lecture. And chalo guys, any questions? If you have it, you will be able to ask me now. Did you understand clearly, guys? Any questions?